How's everybody doing today? And are you ready?
Finally?
Finally? Are we ready?
Yeah, we tried doing the silent version, but it didn't seem to. We didn't catch on for a while. We couldn't hear each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very quiet in the studio.
Yeah.
But thank you for tuning in to You Must Be Joking.
Right? Now, we already went through some of this.
But we're just going to start from the top, man.
Yeah.
And the lip reading audience that saw us earlier can be like, oh, we already heard this. So go ahead and get yourself some coffee.
No, they didn't already hear it. They already saw it.
Listen, if they're reading, they're hearing it in their head. Because when I read, I hear it in my head. But, because the voices like to speak out loud.
Yeah, my voices do too.
They like to make themselves heard. All right, so what you got? Because you don't want to talk about Roe v. Wade. And you don't want to talk about Bill Gates wanting to globally watch the planet. And you don't want to talk about Depp v. Heard.
No.
You want to talk about May 8th.
Yeah.
Because it's Mother's Day. What kind of motherly stuff happened on May 8th? Previous to us making it a national holiday.
There was a lot of shit on here that made you say, Mother.
What a day.
But no, I figure, the political stuff like Roe versus Wade, that'd be something for, like the vegetable soup show.
And it's on there.
So, instead of hashing and rehashing, we'll go ahead and these are all things that have happened on May 8th.
Okay.
Okay, now I went back to 500 AD.
Oh, 500 AD?
Yeah.
So like 2 days after you were born, because you were born on May 6th.
No, actually, I was March 19th. As far as we know, because calendars hadn't been
right?
invented
Yeah.
yet.
So I could be right. You could be right.
No, because I remember 500 AD. Hell, I was in my early 2000s, something like that.
Okay. So
Anyway, but
this is like reliving the past for you then.
Yeah.
Like a horrible girlfriend. Why you keep bringing it up?
Well, the good part is I can only be in one place at one time, and I wasn't there. Anyhow, but from all that and everything, I didn't start this list until 1792.
Okay. So after the U.S. was the U.S., is this all things that occurred in the U.S. then?
No.
Okay.
Different areas of the world.
Okay.
But these are the important things,
Ish.
and the things that I thought would be interesting for you and I and the audience.
All right, let's have it.
All right. So, May 8th, 1792. Okay. Now, that would put it 300 years after Columbus landed.
After Columbus got lost and...
Landed. I didn't say that he discovered anything.
He didn't.
No. He ended up on the wrong continent.
Yeah. Rumor has it he's never even been to North America.
Anyhow, you and I were always looking at Mount Rainier and this kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought it was kind of interesting that in 1792, a British captain, George Vancouver, actually saw for the first time Mount Rainier, and he named it Mount Rainier.
So, because most things are named after the person, it's their last name is on the street or on the building or on the mountain or the city. So he had already had something because he had Vancouver Island and then he had the Vancouver Providence. So he's just like, let me give this to Rainier, my favorite boy.
Now, what I think actually happened was, that he was probably going from his island in Canada, heading to his
city in
Washington. And he got as far as Seattle. And you know how on I-5 you look down and you can actually see Mount Rainier really well, especially on a nice clear sunny day.
Oh yeah.
And
he's
especially
heading by that brewery.
Yeah, especially by the Rainier Brewery. It was a
Right.
great view, and he's probably stopped in, had a few beers, and decided, such a great view, we ought to name it after the beer.
Let's just call that Rainier.
Yeah, so they probably just named it after the beer.
And if the beer would have been as good as the mountain,
yeah, they wouldn't have called it Olympia.
oh man, Hams, it's the water.
And not much more.
All right, so some guy named Vancouver named Rain. I wonder if Rainier is like a like Chinook or Seattle is a an Indian based name. You know what I mean? How they named them after Native Americans. They slaughter them all, then they name everything after them.
It could have been a very rainy day. He probably saw it and said, "Rain, oh dear." Rainier. There you
I had a bad speech impediment. I was Rainier.
go. Too much beer.
Rainier.
Too much beer.
You
just
call
kinda
it too much
slid
beer.
together.
I call it speech impediment. Rainier.
Yeah, because in your defense, there is truly no such thing as too much beer.
That's correct.
That'd be like too much fun, too much sex, too
Correct.
much money.
So, see,
Yeah. They just,
I don't understand the too much. What? Too much?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Hedonism.
Now,
Beautiful.
Now we go about another 50 or so years later. I believe that's about 53 years later.
Okay.
To 1835.
1835. May 8th, 1835.
And this changed the world as we knew it.
Huh.
Okay. For many a people.
So a comet hit?
No, but close.
Okay.
The very first installment of Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales was published by C.A. Ritzel in Copenhagen, Denmark.
And is that the Grimm's fairy tales? So that's the original.
No, this isn't Grimm's brothers. This is Hans Christian Andersen.
Okay, and so which ones are his? Because the Grimm brothers had the ones that were like almost very dark, right?
Oh no, they were very dark. Yeah.
Okay, and so which ones were his?
Let's hear.
And were they similar?
Well, it was fairy tales.
Because I know that like there's the Grimm
he
version.
came up with Mother Goose, I believe.
The Grimm version of Cinderella, and then the Disney version of Cinderella.
Oh yeah. That's because Disney was
So
still believing in G-rating.
is Hans the cleaner, less dark version? Because you say Mother Goose.
Yeah, he was definitely less dark. Let's hear.
Now I'm making him do work. See, he screwed up earlier, so he has to work now.
Let's hear. Okay, Wikipedia.
Little lamb? Did you just say little lamb?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The Emperor's New Clothes, The Little Mermaid, The Nightingale, The Steadfast Tin Soldier.
Okay, so
Red
this guy
Shoes,
did
Princess
the
and
ones
the
that
Pea.
had the either a morality lesson or a class lesson.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he did Thumbelina, the Ugly Duckling.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So, okay.
Where the Brothers Grimm were doing just, hey, we want to scare the hell out of the kids.
And it worked.
And it worked. It's beautiful. I loved it.
It scared the heck out of a lot of adults, too. I think.
It's because adults are just as dumb. Well, actually, they're dumber than kids.
Yeah.
Kids are kind of interesting. It's like they have no qualms and no filters up to about age 11. And then all of a sudden, because they'll say anything and talk about anything and just blurt out anything. But about age 11, they're just like, no, I ain't talking about that. No.
Yeah.
They just shut right off.
Yeah, and then when you get to be about
And then when
50,
they get again,
the filter's
now the
gone.
angst comes out. I have to be mad at the world. Why? I don't know, but I'm mad about it. Okay.
I don't have to be mad at the world. My filter just doesn't work. You know, it had a 50-year lifespan.
Oh no, that's the unfiltered is mad.
Not mine. I'm just as happy as I can be.
Oh, I'm happy now.
Okay, now
this
we'll
morning
go
made me
about 5 years later.
Okay, so wait, we just did Hans Christian. Okay, next topic.
Now, 5 years later, 1840,
Okay,
Alexander Walcott patents the photographic process.
so he patented the process.
Yeah. So he got to where he could stably do the photographing.
So that means taking the picture and developing the picture and
Using
everything.
the copper
The
plates.
entire
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, doing the copper plates and doing the mercury and
Light.
yeah.
Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Good.
That's the one. Yeah. And that's why everybody, because back then, you know, I mean, they didn't shower all that often. That's why when you had those group pictures, very few people were smiling. and most of them are going.
And the ones that are ghostly is because they couldn't take it. They're just like
Yeah.
turned away. I told you to stay still. Now someone's gonna think I can't take pictures, but you can't. It's the camera that took the picture.
Now, being a dog lover, you and I both like this one.
I love them there doggies.
Yeah.
So much
1877
better
was the
than
very
humans.
first Westminster Dog Show.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's been a bad habit ever since.
Yeah. There's
Although I have to admit, I did see a dill online.
it's Adele, not Adele.
No, it was a dill. It was a video on Facebook. Actually, it was a video on Facebook from YouTube. But it was this dog that they were trying to get it to do its tricks.
Okay.
And it saw this other dog, and it got so excited that it just said to hell with it. And then everybody was chasing it around trying to get it to come back, and it just kept running all over there, you know. So they finally got the dog and got it set down.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it placed in the contest.
Oh, I love watching those doggone it videos from the Westminsters and when they do the round the tracks and stuff, they lose control of the dogs. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's not that they lose control, but the dog gets excited. It's like squirrel.
Yeah, kind of like Shinzo.
Exactly.
That's here. 1878, the following year.
The last last Westminster show.
If only.
Yeah.
Now, the very first unassisted triple play in organized baseball, and it was made by Paul Hines.
Unassisted.
Yeah.
That means one person
He did it all by
got
himself.
3 dudes out.
Yep. So chances are,
What position did he play? Home plate?
probably pitcher or shortstop, maybe. Because what he would have had
'Cause
to
how-
do, what he would have had to do is the batter was up, and so the guy hits it, and then he goes ahead and catches it. So I would say probably the pitcher, the first baseman, or shortstop catches the ball. You know, it was probably a grounder, so they caught it, and then he threw it to home because the plate was loaded on second, third, and fourth. Or
But that would be
first, second,
assisted.
third.
That would be assisted, though, because he threw it to someone else who tagged the other guy.
No, because once he threw it to them, then all 3 of them were out. Once he got that ball to home, if he threw the ball to home, then yeah.
Yeah, but that's
That's
not unassisted. That someone had to catch the ball to make the stop at home.
No, because
See, to me, unassisted
Well,
means
yeah.
to me unassisted means the bases may have been loaded. Batter swings, clips the ball. Everyone starts running, but the ball ends up in his glove, which means the batter is now out. He runs to the guy coming from third, tags him, he's out, and jumps on the guy coming from second to third to tag him. That is how unassisted triple play runs in my mind.
Yeah,
Not hey, I caught the ball, so he's out, and then I threw it to him, and he tagged 2 people, and it's all me.
no. Well, maybe the batter hit a fly ball and he caught it, and all 3 of them were out because that was the third out.
Or he hit a fly ball, and it pop up, so he caught it, batter's out, and the guy from third was running, and he tagged him, and then the guy from second to third was there. You know what I mean? Because the pop fly, because you'd have to run to catch the pop fly that's up this high, heading towards third, while the guy on third's like, they're never gonna get it, so I'm running. You know, so
Well, maybe
he
it was
catches,
the catcher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The catcher caught the pop fly from the guy batting, which makes the batter out,
Right.
while running it down because it's running down the third base line. So he runs into the guy coming from third to home, tag, he's out. Guy from second to third can't stop, jumps, tags him. That's how you would do an unassisted in my mind.
Well, your mind is kind of weird. But
Yeah,
I'll give
no,
you that.
not kinda.
Yeah.
Not kinda at all.
No, I'll give you that. We're going to have to look that up. But
Yeah, I'd like to
his-
see
yeah, his-
because, like you said, which makes sense. Pop, fly, catch, throw. Now they're all out. But that to me
that would be a
isn't
triple play,
unassisted.
you know.
Isn't unassisted.
Yeah, well, we'll have to look it up. Paul Hines, Hines.
Not like the ketchup.
Okay, 1878. And this is a busy year.
Yeah, a lot of May 8s going on.
David Edward Hughes. wrote a paper on the idea of a microphone.
Ooh.
So thank you, sir.
Hey, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have this podcast.
So was he basing it off of the speaker and just doing the reverse technology?
It doesn't say,
because
but
you can make
it
a
says that
microphone out of a
that He wrote a
speaker.
paper on the idea of a microphone, and it was read before the Royal.
Wait, what year? What year?
1878.
Oh, there was no speakers back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. All right.
And it was read before the Royal Society of London by Thomas Henry Huxley.
So thank you, Mr. Hughes. Thank you, Mr. Huxley.
Yeah,
Because without them,
we would be out of business.
well, I wouldn't have been able to play guitar so loud I piss everybody off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to get my voice out there to really piss them.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to annoy you and you and you and you and you and you.
Well, I can annoy me.
I know, but I know all the buttons.
You stop that.
I know where every button is. I can push them all. Sometimes I can do 3 or 4 simultaneously.
But I don't watch. Okay.
He watches.
Now here you go. The next,
1878. Again, May 8th.
Nope. Next year.
9.
Yep.
9.
1879. George Selden files for the first patent
Oh boy. For a
For-
flashlight.
for a gasoline-driven automobile.
Woo! When was that? 79?
1879.
Yeah, see. So
31 years before the turn of the century.
yeah, but from 1879 to 1979, we went from horse-drawn carriages to walking on the moon. And we failed every year after that.
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
No, really.
No, because my son was born in 84, and I would
Uh,
say that was a pretty good thing.
Yeah, for you, but as a country, we've been failing since we walked on the moon.
Well, yeah, since 1960, when I was born, nothing good has happened, really.
He just lied about when he was born. Because you heard him earlier, he said 500 AD. When actually his birth date is 1000 BD, before dirt. So yeah, 1879,
Yeah.
he
The
filed
patent
for the patent for a combustion
for
internal
the
combustion
first
engine.
gasoline-driven automobile, not the
Not the
internal
engine, but the entire the
Automobile.
auto. Oh, nice. So he obviously had
yeah.
either drawn it up or made a
Yeah. Or he,
workable product.
yeah, he probably at that point had made himself a what's the word?
I had a friend who lived at the Shady Acres Airport over
I
there
knew
in
your friends were a little shady.
yeah, over there in Spanaway. See how shady it is. So, but his neighbor, this guy, he raced biplanes and stuff, and he had an old car. This car was so old that the gas pedal was this, and I was just like, there was no brake pedal. And the steering wheel was so. He's like, "Here, watch me drive it." And he's driving it because he's had it for years. Now you try it. And I'm just like, he's like, "Get out before you wreck it." And I'm like, "Thank you." It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen, and I bet that's probably part of what this guy was creating.
It could be, but I would imagine that if he applied for the patent and that he had already built the prototype.
Yeah, because the car that we were messing around in. Was supposedly a what do you call that?
Reconstituted.
No, not reconstituted, but
Constituted.
reconstitute. No, it's a replica. It's a replica of an early Ford vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Is what it was, and it was supposed to have the hand crank to start it and everything, but they took that out because they're super dangerous.
Yeah.
And
A lot of people have got their hands, their
So
jaws.
the only modification to that vehicle, as per the drawing that it was made from, was that it had a push button start as opposed to the crank, and it was how? Wait, what? How? What? How? No, I cannot. They're like, you're right, you cannot.
Get out.
So imagine how skilled you had to be back then with your hand-eye coordination and foot coordination and stuff. Because the feet had nothing to do with the gas pedal back then.
Yeah. Well, that kept a lot of people from drinking and driving because you can't hold a beer and use both hands.
No, you cannot. That's why you can't drink and fly a helicopter either, damn it.
But that's
Well, you could if you have a party hat and a
that's
straw.
that's what I was going to say. But they did. You can because they came up. If you all you got to do is get those hats where you put the beer on either side and it's got the two straws.
Yeah. I got a sippy cup and a Boda bag. I'm ready to fly this helicopter out of here.
Now this next one is one that you can really get into.
Okay, this is when marijuana was born.
Close. No, marijuana was around long
Uh-huh.
before that. 1886.
1886, May 8th, 1886.
Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh boy. Stop selling laudanum. Oh.
That sells the very first Coca-Cola containing
Woo! The
cocaine.
original recipe.
Yeah, which contained cocaine.
Did you know that there is a company in New Jersey
Yeah, a bunch of them.
that works with Coca-Cola
Oh,
that imports cocoa leaves and refines them in the United States, separates the cocaine out of the cocoa leaf, and gives the rest to Coca-Cola for their formula. True story.
didn't know that.
True story.
I thought that it was all over now.
No. They that's still part of the flavor that they put in Coca-Cola, and they import it
Oh,
here.
so they just take the cocaine out and
Yes,
but the
which they
leaf.
then sell for pharmaceutical. Makes a ton of sense. And then
Yeah, they probably
flavor-
send it back to Colombia and then get the.
No, they're the absolute only competition with Colombia, which is the CIA. But
Well, yeah,
you can't spell Colombia without CIA.
true. Let's hear 1912.
You can't spell cocaine without CIA either.
1912.
That's a big jump. All right, 1912, May 8th, 1912.
Film and television production and distribution studio Paramount Pictures is founded.
Woo! Now, are they the first one?
No, I doubt it, because we're talking 1912 here.
Oh, but their production studio. Are they the first full production? Because there's NBC Radio and ABC Radio.
Yeah, but they also had MGM Studios and
Okay, so no, then they're not.
yeah,
Okay,
and they
all
had
right.
the
MGM was
radio,
before.
something or another.
So if MGM was before Paramount, how come MGM? Oh, because it was not May 8th. Oh, see, son of a, he can figure it out. He's not as stupid as he sounds. He's dumber.
But anyhow, yeah, so that's when they were founded. And then 1919, 7 years later, the first transatlantic flight take off by a Navy seaplane.
By a Navy seaplane.
Yeah. I didn't even know the Navy had seaplanes. But
Of
they
course
did.
they do.
Not back then.
Yes.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's all they
They
were.
had that-
All they were back then was planes that landed in water.
Oh, yeah. Pontoons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is funny because that was like 2 years before World War II.
When did
Or,
when did
World War
Lindbergh,
One,
when did
sorry.
Lindbergh do his transatlantic flight?
It wasn't on May 8th. Here you go. 1919.
1919,
A very important.
unlike 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1919. Hey, there was a pandemic going in 1919.
Yeah, but this is extremely important and a momentous occasion throughout history.
Oh, is it now?
Yes. Edward George Honey first proposes the idea of a moment of silence to commemorate the armistice of World War I, which leads to the creation of Remembrance Day. And every day since then, women have held a grudge for having to be quiet for that moment. I made up that last part.
Oh, I thought that part was the truest part. The rest was all a bunch of bull. So we have him to blame. Okay, we
Yeah.
got it. We got it.
Yeah, but he tried.
Yeah.
Okay? At least we got that one moment of silence.
Moment.
Yes.
He should have said hour. We have an hour of silence for remembrance. I mean, the war was very long. We can sacrifice an hour.
Yeah. That's here. I thought that I enjoyed that though. Now this one here, I have to say, when I first read it, the idea just busted me up.
Okay.
1926.
Okay. May 8th, 1926.
A. Philip Randolph organizes the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters.
What? What? The Brotherhood
Brotherhood
of Sleeping
Car
Porters.
Yes.
Is that like a valet?
Somewhat, yeah.
So what? They sleep in the car so that no one breaks into it? We've had a rash of burglaries. I need 20 guys to volunteer to sleep in my customers' cars
Yeah,
to keep people from breaking in.
yeah. See, the way I was thinking of it when I first read that is I was thinking, these guys are in a lounge, like in the old time restrooms, where you got the guy that hands you the towels and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there was a room off to the side where they could sleep and wait to get a call to go get the car, but no. I ended up having to look it up.
It was so interesting.
Yeah. Now it says founded in 1925 here, but according to these guys, it was 1926. when
Okay.
It was organized. The Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters was the first labor organization led by African Americans to receive a charter in the American Federation of Labor. The BSCP gathered a membership of 18,000 passenger railway workers across Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Beginning after the American Civil War, the job of Pullman porter had become an important means of work in the black community in the United States. As a result of decline in railway transportation in the 1960s, BSCP membership declined. It merged in 1978 with the Brotherhood of Railway and Airline Clerks, now known as the Transportation Commission's International Union. But yeah, so
Well, now we know why Reagan was a union buster. Oh!
Yeah, but it didn't.
So it
fit
was the first African American union? Is that what
Yeah,
they're saying?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So 1925, and then 1926.
And now we have the TSA.
This will break a lot of people's hearts, mainly in Boston.
19 what? 26?
Yeah. Fire breaks out in Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox.
Okay.
1936. Jockey Ralph Neves unexpectedly revived after being declared dead after a fall.
Unexpectedly.
Yes. His wife faints when he returns to track. I read that. I was going to just pass that one and not bother. But they actually put down that his wife fainted after he returned to the track.
I would assume. I'm not dead.
Damn, I don't get the insurance. Let's see here. 1945.
You got to do it right.
Oh, yes. You're right. I am sorry. I'm terrible. I'm not in touch with my feminine side. 1945. German General Wilhelm Tell formally surrenders to the Allies represented by the United States, the UK, France, and the Soviet Union in Berlin. Okay, and a good portion of the stuff between...
You know why we didn't nuke Berlin? Because we didn't have a third one right then.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, or the bad news is, everything from 1944, that one there I thought was pretty good. And so from that on, pretty much everything had to do with World War II and this kind of stuff, but it was all the little stuff, So anyway, and this, I also put two things together from different areas because I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
You know how the sail ships back in the old days, like Blackbeard and Redbeard and those guys, the pirate ships, they always shot cannons, at each other.
Okay.
Oh, they shouldn't have wasted the powder.
Eh, probably not.
In 1954, first shot put throw over 60 feet. That's a cannonball being thrown 60 feet. Actually, over 60 feet.
Yeah, but there's no impact if there's no power behind it.
By American Perry O'Brien in Los Angeles, California.
Because I could probably, if I could hit you in the head with an 8-pound shot put, it could probably do some damage. But if I hit the side of your house, it might make a little dent. So if you put it in a cannon with a focused aim and you put some powder behind it with a nice explosion, now it goes through the house and then gets you.
And then in 19...
Not that I've ever thought about doing something like that.
Okay, now that was over 60 feet. But in 1965, the first shot put over 70 feet. And that was Randy Matson. He went 70 feet, 7 inches.
Okay.
So
It's an 8-pound shot put, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say how heavy, but yeah, I'd imagine so.
That's a lot of throwing. A lot of lead to just go ahead and toss over there.
Yeah, you figure 70 feet, that's a pretty good throw.
I wonder if it's like you're only allowed to spin 1.5 times before you actually throw it, or can you like do a 2, 3, yeah, Because when they do that wind up, some of them just do this.
Yeah.
But the discus, like they spin and chuck the discus, and the spear they run and they throw the javelin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the shot put,
I guess they just
shot.
And there's the hammer throw where they spin a lot,
yeah.
but at the shot put they just do this, don't they?
The shot put, they used to have a little thing on the ground. It was like a wood frame that they had to stay within, and they would do a circle, but they'd hold it up like this, and then
okay, so they used to, but nowadays they
nowadays
just,
I don't know.
They just like they're Mike Tyson punching someone in the chin.
I think what they should have done was the same way I do it. Is you just sit there, wind up.
Oh, what I do is they hand it to me and I put it on the ground and say, I'm not throwing that.
Ow! I got my finger dirty.
I don't need to throw this. I need you to throw this heavy object way over there. Yeah, but I don't need to. You just want me to, so I'm not going to.
Okay.
May 8th.
Yep, 1958.
Woo!
United States Vice President.
In 58? Jesus.
No.
Buckley?
He was dead by then.
Wait, no. I have no clue.
Nixon. Richard Nixon.
Fucking Willhouse.
Yeah. In 1958, VP at that time, Richard Nixon, is shoved, stoned, booed, and spat upon by protesters in Peru.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then when he got back and became president, shortly thereafter, Watergate and everything, then he started getting shoved, stoned, booed, and spat on.
Yeah, he wanted to nuke Nam.
Yeah.
What would happen to? And that's like the only time Henry Kissinger wasn't a scumbag POS. Nixon was like, yeah, well, why don't we just nuke him? And Kissinger's like, nah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, especially considering everything else that's around there.
Because those guys are just horrible people. Can't believe he said no to that idea.
1959, the very following year. 3-deck Nile River excursion steamer springs a leak, panicking passengers who capsized the ship.
There's a leak! Everyone over here!
And this is the part that I had to write down. I had to put this in here.
3 decks.
200 people drowned. Here's the kicker. Yards from shore.
Yeah, but how many? 400?
No, 200.
Okay.
200 people drowned.
No.
But just yards from the
Yeah,
shore.
how many yards? 400?
I don't know. It seems to me like 200 people.
They drown each other?
They could hold
standing
hands.
on each other?
One could swim over to the edge, and then they could hold hands and pull them in, I don't know.
Well, useless eaters got to go.
But yeah, don't panic if you see somebody pull the plug out of the bathtub in a ship. You know,
There's bilge pumps for a reason. There's buckets. You know, you can get your hands, throw the water out.
Okay, and the worst day of my life, 1959.
1959, May 8th, 1959.
Little Caesars Pizza is founded.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know they were around that long.
That's amazing.
Mike Hitch and his wife Marion Hitch in Garden City, Michigan.
Little Caesars Pizza. And look at them now.
Now this started a revelation. A revolution, I should.
Revelation. A revelation. It's a revelation. Revolution?
Yeah, but well, whatever. Anyhow, 1963, May 8th, the very first James Bond film, Dr. No, starring Sean Connery, premieres in the United States.
And then he wasn't in the next one. Isn't that weird?
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Let's hear.
Slasbury was the next guy. Slazenberry.
Yeah, and then they went back to Sean Connery.
Then they went back to Sean Connery.
He ain't that good. Let's hear. Okay. Muhammad Ali in 1967
All right.
is indicted for refusing induction into the U.S.
Yep.
Army. He wasn't allowed to fight for a long time after that.
No, it was not. But hey, man, you got to admire him for standing up for his rights,
1970.
especially against the stupidity of the war.
Yeah. 1970. Beatles released the 12th and final studio album, Let It Be,
Yep.
in conjunction with the film of the same name.
Yep. And that rooftop concert.
Yep.
Their very last performance as the Beatles.
Yeah, that sucks.
Eh.
I really liked them. You know, I didn't like their really later stuff, you know, like the Helter Skelter album and that kind of stuff that much.
Yeah, everybody,
there were a few songs on there that
everybody your age loved their poppy little blue and white albums with their little 2-minute songs about love and girls. Oh.
Well, the way that they harmonized and the music.
No,
on
they
it
were
and
very
everything,
that was a very
yes.
talent. They deserved every
Yes.
bit of success that they had because they
And
they were good.
And they were actually the musicians. It's not like the Monkees where they pretended to play, you know.
Well, it wasn't that the Monkees pretended to play, but they weren't as good as we were told they were.
believe.
But they were put together. They were a built band. Some guy said, "Hey, I need a band for this."
Yeah, they
thing,
had
so
to
I'm gonna get you
audition
guys to go
for
do
it.
the
Yeah,
thing."
because it was actually for the show.
Show, yeah.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the Beatles, though.
But the Beatles were
awesome.
ve-
and
but
they
still,
were
yeah,
they
there's-
were all great.
oh yeah.
You know, just one of my favorites all time. Okay. Now I remembered this, and
Well, of
probably
course
too.
you did. You remember all of them.
1973, the Indians holding South Dakota hamlet of Wounded Knee for 10 weeks surrendered. Now you remember all that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I still remember watching the film on the news, you know, when they were doing that, and all I could think of is, damn, man, when are we going to quit with these Indians, you know?
Never. Well, when they're all gone. That's
yeah,
when.
Yeah, you know,
Because for some reason we
We're not-
think we own this land.
yeah, we're not supposed to be fighting them still. I mean, you know, let's...
Didn't you see us trying to kill them over oil?
Yeah,
Just like a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you this I don't really think is true, but this is what they say. Of course, we're talking about the WHO again.
Okay.
Okay.
You're talking about the WHO? You mean that Bill Gates Foundation?
World Health Organization in 1980 announces smallpox has been eradicated,
I mean, okay.
and yet it's not. It's still around.
Well, that's because they took the smallpox virus into a lab and they're trying to weaponize it.
And well,
That's the only reason you would keep it in a lab.
my son, when he joined the army and they were shipping him over to Iraq, they gave him an injection of it and then put a Band-Aid on there so it couldn't spread and so he couldn't scratch at it and everything to make him immune to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's still around.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not eradicated
Oh, yeah.
like it should be.
Yeah, just like polio. Polio still here.
That's here. 1985.
There's no money in curing.
Now, you probably couldn't give a squat about this, but to me it's
85?
important, yeah. The 20th Academy of Country Music Awards Alabama, George Strait, and Reba McEntire.
All right. Reba. Go Reba.
Let's see here. 1993, 16-year-old Karen Thomas disguises himself as a motorman and takes the New York City subway train and 2,000 passengers for a 3-hour ride.
All right.
Wouldn't that have been fun?
He's probably still in jail.
Yeah, we ought to look that one up for the next show. Yeah, but that takes some real kahunas.
Yeah, and
You
some
know.
planning.
Yeah. Well, to dress up as a motorman and then take 2,000 people on a joyride for 3 hours.
Pelham 123, what's going on? Oh, we're being kidnapped.
Now, this one here I'm happy with and pissed off about.
Okay.
2001, 36th Academy of Country Music Awards.
Uh-huh. Reba McEntire.
No, not on this one. She was on the last one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. No, this was Faith Hill.
Eh,
I liked her. And Toby Keith.
eh.
Loved that man. The one that pissed me off was Dixie Chicks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, how could you give an award to the Dixie Chicks?
Because they got harmony, I guess.
Yeah, except they don't know how to end a song.
They've never known how to write one. Oh!
You know, I like some of their music and everything, and the girl that does the lead singing,
Uh-huh.
she has really got a nice voice when it comes to soft music, to
Yeah.
soft songs. But when she's trying to sing the big stuff, the loud stuff, it's like running your fingernails down a chalkboard, and they never have figured out how to stop a song. They just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating until somebody gives up.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's got to surrender. But yeah, so I've never been a real Dixie Chicks fan. That song of Earl's Gotta Die. Oh, where they killed Earl.
Are you talking about a Dixie Chick song?
Yeah,
Yeah, see, I don't even care enough to know what their songs are about.
they did. It did well. That one there and everything. Earl Gotta Die. Anyhow, there was an answer to that song.
Okay.
Okay, by another guy, and I haven't.
A rebuttal?
Yeah, only this one here is, "Hey girls, it's Earl. I didn't die," and it's funnier than hell.
I see.
The girls definitely got their stuff back. Okay. This is interesting. Now, pay attention to the years.
Okay.
In 2008,
Uh-huh.
Dmitry Medvedev, Medved, EV, however you pronounce it.
Medvedev?
Yeah, that one. Appoints Vladimir Putin as Russian Prime Minister.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, in 2012,
Uh-huh.
4 years later,
Uh-huh.
Dmitry Medvedev
Meets with his death.
is confirmed as Russia's prime minister by State Duma after being nominated by Vladimir Putin. See? Putin went ahead and said, "All right, well, you did it for me. I'll get you in there behind me so you can be my lackey."
Right?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and run the world together. Yes, here. 2018.
That's what they call an oligarchy.
Yeah. 2018. I remember this one, too. You do, too, I bet. In fact, you probably said something about it on Vegetable Soup. Largest ever wave at 23.8 meters recorded in the South Hemisphere at Campbell Island by New Zealand scientists.
Oh, nice.
Do you know how big that sucker is?
Oh, yeah.
How big?
Wait, you said it was 23 feet.
No, 23 meters.
Oh, meters. 23 meters. So, let's see. It's, guys, almost, because is it 2.7 or 3.1? So, it's around 100 feet.
78.08 feet.
So, it's 2.
I had to do the conversion. I wanted to, but that's almost 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I rode
2020.
a 23-foot wave one time for all of the 3 seconds because it was coming. It was my very first time. We were riding some really big waves on longboards, and So here comes the set, 3 waves. First one, I go kind of up and over. I was like, wow, that was kind of big. I'm a little scared. Second one, I was like, maybe I should just take this to shore. And I wasn't going to stand up on my board or nothing. Start paddling. Wave comes, and it's starting to crest. And so I'm going up the wave, and then I go down the wave, and then the wave just folds over me. Meanwhile, my father's on the beach taking like 1,000 pictures of me just going, boom, gone. Laird Hamilton, man, that guy's ridden some huge waves. He made this crazy board that's got a hydroplane fin on it, and you have to actually tow to start because you have to get up to speed to get up on the hydroplane itself. So the board's not on the water, but this little fin is cutting through the water, and there's a blade underneath, and you just pump like that, and it just keeps you going. And if you catch a wave while you're hydroplaning, and it's a super smooth ride, because on a surfboard you kind of you're riding the wave and you're feeling every bump in there, but on that hydroplane board it's so crazy how that works.
Huh. Okay, last but not least,
Uh-oh.
think about the math on this one.
I don't like to think about, man.
11-year-old Brazilian skateboarder
Okay.
Gui Curry.
Okay. Gooey Curry.
Yeah,
Sounds like bad food.
Gui is the first name, and then Khury.
Okay.
Is the last
Hey, however you want to pronounce it, it sounded like bad food. Gooey Curry.
creates world record by performing first 1,080-degree turn on a vertical ramp. That's why I said prepare for the math.
A 1080 on a vertical ramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, 180 is a complete revolution, right?
No, 360 is a revolution.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that'd be what, 3? Yeah. About 3 turns.
Yes.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Things that happened
11-year-old.
on May 8th.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's May 8th. Through the years.
Through the years, through the centuries, and still we are collapsing as a society.
Well, I don't know about collapsing, but I think that it's amazing that so much of that has all happened on the same day of the year, the same time of year. You know.
There's only so many days, and there've been so many years.
Well, yeah, but I didn't even put half of them on there.
Yeah, well, go May 9th. Go May 7th. There's stuff for every day.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
There's been enough people. There's been enough years. There's been enough everything. There's, May 18th wasn't the only. Mount St. Helens wasn't the only thing to happen on May 18th.
Yeah. But that was funny in a way, because what I was doing at the time, I thought I was just being really good, because we made the earth move, and then come to find out, because shortly after that, my brother calls up, Gary, did you feel that? How did you know? Because at first he thought it was him too, because he was doing it with his girlfriend at this other place.
I thought it was my hamsters. Because they died.
Yeah, it was funny. But, anyhow, does anybody else, all of you people out there, you've been kind of quiet.
Yeah, the 3 of you that are watching us, did anything happen to you on May 8th on a specific year that we mentioned before, like the 1700s or the 1800s? Let us know if on a May 18th, hundreds of years ago, you had an exciting moment in your life that you want to tell us about.
That would be a good one.
Ready to listen.
Yeah.
We're here to believe you.
No matter how fictitious or science fictitious. Nah.
Yeah, nothing about Mars on May 8th, huh?
No, not yet.
I guess the rover wasn't there on the 8th doing things.
Well, it didn't land, it didn't take off, and it didn't break down on May
On the
8th.
8th, yeah.
And it wasn't launched on May 8th.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's up there. It's doing things. What are the significant dates for the rover? Westminster.
Well, there we go. Yeah, we can. What we need to do now is we'll do one about Westminster, and then Rover, and then Scooby Doo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, some lady got attacked not too long ago.
By Scooby Doo.
No, but by a couple of dogs.
Oh.
And people were like, well, you know, pit bulls are dangerous. I'm like, no, the people that own them are the ones that make them dangerous. So put the owner down and rehabilitate the dogs,
There you go.
please.
Yeah, and he's speaking from experience because he has the sweetest little pit bull.
Anybody who knows me personally knows that I have rescued and raised beautiful, brilliant little pit bulls.
Yeah, well,
Smarter than me, nicer than me.
that didn't take a whole lot.
No,
you know.
no, don't say much.
Yeah, that's probably why they're so good, is because
See?
they got you to bite the neighbors. you know?
Right. Dad, get him. Okay. Yeah, put the owner down, rehabilitate the dogs. Anytime a dog like that viciously attacked, like Mike Vick, they should have put him down while they rehabilitated the dogs. But no, they cheer for him at the football game now.
Yeah, well,
Ah, my hero.
yeah. You're talking about the one that had the dog fights, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Hey,
that.
but you know, football's awesome. It gives rapists and murderers a place to go when they get out of jail.
Yeah,
And,
make a
and
lot
be
of money.
famous and become idolized and hero worshipped, and kids look up to you. I want to be just like him. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's see here. How we do? Man, not bad, not bad.
Did we make it?
Yeah.
Are we there?
Yeah, well, we still got a few minutes to spare. Let's see here. Yeah. So we could talk about vegetable soup if you'd like. Do a little
Vegetable soup.
do a little pitch on it.
Hey man, vegetable soup is a show you should probably give at least one listen to. It's just me giving my opinion on topics that nobody cares about, including me. So give it a listen. It's on nwczradio.com, channel 1 on Tuesdays at 6 to 7 Pacific time.
Except last week.
The vegetable soup show. Yeah, I don't know what happened last week. Because we were sitting there, my producer and I, loaded the show in, watched him load the show in, reboot everything. There it is. It's on Anchor. Okay, cool. He's like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And then you text me, but I don't know what I was doing. But when I saw the text, show's not playing. All right, well, that's just one more in the can for next time I want to take a week off.
Yeah, it was just, I kept waiting, kept thinking, well, they'll catch on and they'll kick it in.
Nope.
I sent you the text.
Yep, and I
went
didn't-
ahead and I waited and I waited and I waited and
Didn't
it was
see
like,
it.
never mind then. I guess So, but yeah, every once in a while they do that.
Yeah, it's an adventure. It's fun. Check it out.
But I do like listening to it usually. There are times where it's a little on the slow side. But
It's getting there because it's just me now. I used to be able to
well, yeah, when the three of you were there.
yeah,
you
I
know,
used to be able to count on having people to bounce ideas off of and stuff,
Yeah.
and now it's just me. And so, like, I'll walk into the studio and I'll be looking at stuff that I think I want to talk about, and then I'll get distracted, and then I'll get distracted, and then I'll get distracted. And it's really funny because I'll record 5 or 10 minutes of audio, and then stop, look for something else, and then forget what I was talking about, and then I'll listen back, and it's like. So anyway, the thing about going on the moon is taking trips into the depth of the sea. Whoa, what kind of change was that? Okay, now I got to go back and edit and So it's kind of fun. I'm just in there just recording for hours doing nothing.
Yeah, but be sure and check it out. nwczradio.com, and there is a link to it on the homepage of rubberchickenradio.com.
All right.
So when you see the banner that says NWCZ Radio, click on it, and it'll take you right to it.
Yay.
And that's channel 1.
That's channel 1.
So,
Lots of good shows on there. Just like lots of good shows on Rubber Chicken Radio.
yeah, and we're getting more. In fact, I have a guy coming over in about an hour, supposedly.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have been here yesterday at noon, but he rescheduled it for today. Anyhow, he actually is really good with the cryptocurrencies and this kind of stuff, and he has a few businesses that he
He's
runs.
going to tell you to get out of crypto.
Well, he makes money every month on crypto.
Yeah.
So,
So do I, but That doesn't mean I'm staying in it.
Yeah, but anyhow, so
Once they regulate it, it's over.
yeah, but we're talking about maybe him doing a show here, a podcast.
Oh, right
or-
on. Giving financial info.
and doing a live show so people can call in or email in and talk to him, and this kind of stuff, But
Nice.
we're gonna discuss it today when he
Nice.
gets here and see what
Building
we can work
more
out.
and more relationships, building a stronger station, building a stronger community.
But also, hopefully, what it'll do is give you guys more information, because I've talked to a lot of people that are interested in cryptocurrency or real estate investments or this kind of stuff, and I've got quite a bit of knowledge as far as the real estate goes, pre-pandemic. Okay, but when it comes to the cryptocurrencies, I haven't got a clue, and but this man, he actually has a lot of good information, and I mean, he's really into it. He actually studies it, and he keeps up with it, and everything. So it'd be good information to pass on to you if you're interested or you just want to get to know something about it, anything like that. So the whole idea is to give. And I mean, Rubber Chicken Radio is about making people happy, whether it's because of the music or the jokes or whatever. And I'm trying to get things set up to where I have more live stuff going.
Yeah, and a broader audience. Yeah.
Yeah, something to keep people engaged, something they can feel part of.
Yeah.
And so,
Like I said, building the community, man.
yeah. So I am actually going to be trying to talk some people into joining Rubber Chicken Radio as DJs or any other position that they would probably like.
I know someone who actually probably is interested.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna give him the old Rubber Chicken email today when I see him online,
Yeah.
because he's a DJ. He plays music, so.
Well, the only deal is that they have to stay within the music that I have on the station. They can't just decide, well, I want to play this song and it's not in our library.
Okay.
Anything has to be added
Your
to the library.
library
and
should be
approved.
super extensive.
It is.
Okay.
But anything that is played needs to be approved by me, because it has to be it has to fit, okay, and which is pretty much anything except hip hop, rap. I seriously thought about doing stuff like Tchaikovsky and Bach and Beethoven and Strauss, and this kind of Chopin. Decided not to do that because that would be going way out of bounds for a lot of things. But later on, though, I might, and I'll be running this past everybody as we go along, but I might do like a 1 or 2 hour show once a week of classical music.
Yeah.
I do it on a regular schedule. That's something I could do, but it depends on if anybody would actually be interested. But the stuff that we do play, a lot of people like that. Some of the rockers don't really like the country part of it. Some of the country listeners don't really like Slipknot, and this kind of
Well,
stuff.
of course.
But
And a lot of the hip hop people don't like rap or rock and country, and a lot of
Yeah.
So it
we don't care
depends
about
on
that.
who you want to entertain.
but the deal is that most
Do you
people
want to leave money on the table?
Yeah, well, most people are willing and happy to go ahead and listen to a couple of songs that they don't really care for in order to get to the stuff that they do. And so you're not going to hear 6, 7 country songs in a row and then go to 6 or 7 grunge songs, and then you don't get a lot of that back to back.
Well, no, that's just bad programming.
Yeah. So, every once in a while you get 2 or 3 country songs in a row, or rock songs, or 70s songs, or something like that, back and forth. Every once in a while you'll get 2 or 3 comedians doing their skits back to back, but not very often, so. But anyhow, work on the programming, so. But that's the only deal, is that if I get a DJ or something, then they have to stay within the library. They can play anything that they want in the library, but it has to be from that library. But they can say, hey, I would like to put this in and play this, and then let me know, and I'll see about approving it and then putting it in the library.
Okay.
So
I'll let him know.
yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Right on time.
All right.
You couldn't ask for better. Anyway, be sure if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, be sure and email one of us, either Veg or Gary, at rubberchickenradio.com.
Or even suggestions.
Suggestions at rubberchickenradio.com. Also, if you have, if you're a comedian or a songwriter, singer, or group, and you have original material that you would like to submit, then please feel free. Submissions at rubberchickenradio.com.
All right.
I've actually got a few new submissions. One is by Sean Johnston. He just released 2 songs. Really like this kid.
Okay.
It's really, really good. And then there was, I'm trying to remember what the group's name is. It's another good song, too.
That's a good name for a group.
Yeah.
Sounds like a metal group, though. A little out of your genre.
Well, no, because we do a lot of metal. But what the heck? I thought I still had it right in here. Well, I'm gonna have to find it and let you know. But yeah, but we've been getting
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger ending.
Who's
the band?
Yeah,
You must be joking.
You're right. Hold on.
Right?
Let's see.
No, it's fine. Just leave them wanting more, man. Always leave them wanting more. Tune in next week, and we'll tell you who it was. Now we're asking that mystery band to read.
No, I got it on the hard drive. I just got to find it. Which is going to be difficult considering I can't remember the name or the title.
Right. Somewhere out there, someone needs help.
So that actually fits with the title of our podcast.
Perfect.
You must be joking, right?
Right. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.